Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Ethereum, Solana and SUI price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're going to start with Ethereum on the 4 hours chart, where we are still looking at a potential double 1-2 here, wave 3, 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5, where we have finished a wave 1 and then we are followed by a very deep correction and very complex one that it might still unfolding there, and we have reached so far the 0.786 taken from the wave 1 here. And we dive very, very deep, of course, within this correction. The 0.786 is, of course, the last perfect fib level, I would say, for wave 2, the deepest one. Breaking this and, of course, driving towards the 886, that means, of course, a very, very risk there for a downtrend that it might unfold and that it might take the low over there. Currently, we are looking at a potential wave A, wave B, and a wave C that it might still be unfolding the wave A here as a leading diagonal, wave A, wave B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, that it might still be, of course, unfolding for a wave C there. Our invalidation for the bearish is taking the 2782, where the wave 4, in case it unfolds very high and it takes the wave 1 there, that means, of course, invalidation of anything bearish. Currently, the wave 4 might still be unfolding, of course, knowing that we took the 0.23 here at $2,054. And it might still range because the wave 2, of course, is longer in time. So you are expecting also a longer time here range for a wave 4 before, of course, diving for a wave 5. Now, basically, if this wave 4 is going to unfold a little bit for higher here, 0.38, for example, and then we push for lower for a final wave 5, well, we would be lucky if only we take, of course, the low here was final wave 5 before we push for something for higher. And of course, if we take the 886, well, that will be, of course, a question mark if we are still in a 1-2 there, and of course very likely to take the low there, meaning more bearish scenario that we saw, of course, on the daily yesterday, which it can reach until $860 for Ethereum, and hopefully not. Of course, it is a very bearish market in case this will happen. Yeah, so we gotta be careful with it. So for Ethereum, also on the 1 hour chart here, we can see, of course, that we are looking here at a kind of an impulse towards the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, finished wave A or wave 1, which is very likely so far. Until now, it is a wave A, and it might still finish, of course, a wave C. And that means we are in an A, B, and a C here for the wave 4. Which it can be, of course, a zigzag there. And don't forget that this zigzag, if we need the more time here, that means, of course, this zigzag might transform to something as a triangle, taking a lot of time here, of course, to match a wave 2 there within the time, and then pushing for lower in a wave 5. Yep, so these are the highest possibility right now. I'm still looking for higher, honestly, for Ethereum, at least, of course, in a corrective wave there to unfold as a wave 4 as well. So the wave B here is still, of course, requiring at least the minimum target as 0.38. And of course, if in case we are in a wave 1, also you are required to get at least this level and then pushing toward the upside here. So 3 ways down, we have 3 ways up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to be finishing inside this red box, and then starting something towards the upside. Of course, it can be a zigzag finished wave A for a triangle, as I mentioned, or it can be even a finished wave 4. Nobody knows, and then pushing directly toward the upside if the bear market is in a rush again, of course, and more aggressive. And of course, it can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the bullish. So we're gonna see if we break the 1-to-1 fib level only, of course, which it might be around this area. So if we take the minimum requirement here, we might reach the $2,440 for a wave 4 in potential. Yeah, in a potential wave 3 here can be as well, wave C. But if we are bullish, we're gonna continue 4 and a 5 toward the upside. If the bullish unfold here, therefore, yeah, preferably to take the 2,782, which is total invalidation for the bearish interfering with the zone 1. If this happens, then okay, we of course turn to bullish there. So this is regarding Ethereum. Let's go to Solana. For Solana, on the 4 hours chart as well. As you know, we broke, of course, anything bullish here. We have finished, of course, as WXNOI, and we dive very deep here in an impulse toward the downside. We have 1 2 1 2, and then wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and we're still looking for a wave 4 and a wave 5 again, of course, to finish this potential drop down here for Solana, where we were already aiming for, which is around the $75. And of course, this is a minimum target. And obviously, of course, it has a range around the $68 even. So basically, if we have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, very likely that it can be a finished wave. And then we're looking for still, of course, a correction here for a wave 4 in this blue count, of course. This blue count, of course, wave 4 requires the minimum target here, 0.23, which is not taken yet, and I believe it will. We are looking for an ABC, at least, of course, for a wave 4, and also in the time that it is required inside this red box over there. In Confluence, of course, we might get the 1-to-1 fib level here, which is, of course, around the $105 as well for Solana. Of course, the 1.618 might mean a wave 3 might be unfolding there, and of course, we might be much more bullish over there. So, yeah, we'll see if this is gonna happen. But basically, so far, the market is still showing weakness. However, after this wave A here potentially finished, or a wave 1 as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 truncation, we gotta be careful from truncations because, of course, they are signal of weakness, and here we are. So you got here kind of like 5 ways up, failing to take the high. Now currently unfolding an A, B, and a C again, of course, for at least 0.38 fib level in a wave B or a wave 2. So we are in A, B, and a C here to unfold towards the upside, but still, of course, we need lower prices first before we push for higher. It can be, of course, wave 2 in case, of course, but yeah, you see this is a very long sideways right now. Normally wave 2 are a little bit much more faster than this, and you want to push directly toward the upside, so very likely we are in a wave B there. If we take a look also at the KGT for Solana, so for Solana on the KGT 1-minute chart, we can see, of course, that we have still a bearish signal and a bullish signal at the same time. It's still, of course, like a strong consolidation here for the price anyway. It's very clear. It is consolidating in one direction or sideways, I would say. Somehow, of course, we have a bullish signal with some, divergence a little bit. It still need a little bit lower here, I think. But to get a perfect divergence with the previous reference here point for the bullish, and that means, of course, we might push toward the upside here already in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and wave 1, wave 2. Oh, that's interesting. If this happens, let me check this. So basically, it can be a 1, 2 here, and that the wave B finished over there, and that we have took only the 0.23, which is anyway a very clear signal that it is a wave B, right? Because the wave 2 is required to take the 0.38. So if this happens and it took only the 0.23, and this is gonna play as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here for the wave C, well, that's interesting. It can be already a wave B finished over there, while the wave 2, of course, still required a push toward the downside to take the minimum requirement. Yeah, so this is regarding Solana. By the way, for Ethereum, we skipped Ethereum for KGT as well. For Ethereum as well, we see a bullish signal there. And also it is in divergence, strong divergence from the reference point here. And we might start to see something to unfold toward the upside, probably. But don't forget that the bearish are still there. No invalidation yet. I would like to see invalidation, of course, for the red here. And that means, of course, nothing is corrective upward. That means, of course, we're pushing impulsively. But yeah, it's still too early, I think, of course. But we'll see. For Ethereum, I think that also, if there is a possibility to push for higher here without reaching the 0.38, well, definitely it is a wave B. Very simple. However, I think that Ethereum can still hit it. Yeah, can still push for one more low before pushing for higher there. 0.38, 1,985 still to be watched, but there is a also high chance that we push directly for higher, as well as the same as for Solana here. for a wave B without taking the 0.38. Interesting, okay? Be careful with it. For SUI, on the 4-hour chart, SUI is somehow very weak. I don't know, guys. Lately, SUI is showing a lot of weakness within this drop where we have a wave 1, 2, and then wave 3, wave 4, and a wave 5. Unfolding this wave 5 is never ending. I don't know why. I mean, it's time to end up SUI. So we have 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 still extending. I don't know why. However, if this wave 5 is still extending, therefore you are in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, unfinished yet, probably, where you might still have a wave 1, 2, 1, 2 here, wave 3, 4, and a 5, 4, and a 5 for lower prices. But we'll see. It can be even a finished one as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here, internally finishing 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But yeah, the weakness here on the lower time frame is horrible for SUI. I would say even the push toward the upside, it didn't show any kind of an impulsive wave. Finishing here very likely in kind of like a WXNOI, even for a wave A. I don't like how it ended up here. I don't see kind of like finished healthy impulse there. And also the drop down here has already reached the 0.38. Not like Solana or Ethereum. It has already reached it. And okay, it might be unfolding right now a wave 1, 2. Yeah, and 3, 4, 5 for the wave C. So we might see a recovery there. Of course, something to push for higher, but very, very weak for SUI, honestly. I don't see a nice price here. I would like to see, of course, a perfect impulse. If this is gonna be even taken as a kind of like a 5 waves ending diagonal truncation, signal of weakness again, and then yeah, A, B, and a C here. This is very likely that it had happened here. Yeah, kind of like 1, 2, and then wave 3, 4, and a 5 truncated. But yeah, a lot of weakness, guys. I don't know why SUI is so weak, honestly. For SUI on the 1-minute chart here, we are looking also at something bullish as, of course, signal there. We can see a divergence as well. So very likely to push for higher. It can be since we took the 0.38 for SUI there. And we are looking for a signal. However, this push here is not yet impulsive as well. I see 3 waves, which is, of course, also risky that it might still drop for one more low potentially. Yeah, we gotta be careful with SUI. Is not yet, of course, looking great, honestly. Yeah. However, in case if we are still looking after a wave C, it might be very likely as a zigzag ABC to be reached at the 1 Fibonacci level here at 1.0 Fib level and $1.2 for SUI. In case that we are going to see such a recovery. That means, of course, at the same time, in invalidation for anything bearish, because my last bearish scenario is 112 here. And they might be finished already there, okay, as full impulse. And yeah, we might be pushing for higher, but yeah, in case we are doing this, well, I doubt that this can be a 1-2, yeah. It can be there 1-2, but truncation. But yeah, we will see if SUI will get some trust back again after we unfold something toward the upside here. Maybe it will do it. We'll see, guys. So that was it for Ethereum, Solana, and SUI. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.